Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, June 3rd, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame. You'll notice here that the ES has continued to trend higher. One thing that we normally look for here in an uptrending situation here to begin the month, when you close a month bullish, you have a higher value relationship. You look for some sort of pullback in the first week here that could be bought for a end of month rally. And right now we've gotten one test right there, first day, and we've been up ever since, quietly higher, and no pullback really, no discernible pullback here to really buy. Instead, this thing is just kind of quietly pushed higher. It's been a steady rally ever since this pivot low here, nice midpoint retest entry, continuation, failed low, continuation, failed low, continuation, and we're seeing a continuation of this trend until proven otherwise. One thing that we've noticed here is that price has dropped as deep as the previous day's midpoint many days, and then continued higher, sometimes deep below that midpoint before it bounces late in the day off the midpoint yesterday and higher. So we could see, a pullback as deep as the previous session's midpoint, which is 30.57, but then again, any return to that zone could still be a buying opportunity for a continuation higher. At some point here, we may see some sort of significant top that leads to a pullback, but until that occurs, got to continue to defend the pullbacks for a continuation higher. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. Now the NQ is interesting here in the 60-minute time frame and in the lower time frames. Very clear tight range has developed at the highs. You can see here we only have 30% of ADR right now. That means the range is very tiny, less than a third of normal right now. And when you have a tiny range like this up here, that can tend to get people long too late, and then a downside break could run some stops. But again, this is one of those markets, even when we've had some selling pressure during this uptrend, it has come back to the day's mid or below in many cases before bouncing. So to yesterday's midpoint, it's going to be very important. It's also the previous month's close price. It's 95.87s. If price drops below 95.87s, it could be a buy opportunity for a late day rally yet again. We are still sitting up here above the previous month's high price, and again, when you're above the previous month's high in an uptrend, it is an opportunity to get late bulls long. You get a bull trap up here, and bears look to run the stops down, and that could be the case again here. So again, you got to continue to watch the signs here. Any pullback below yesterday's mid could be a buying opportunity. If it fails to stay above the previous session's mid for too long, that could start to run the downside stops. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. Now this one had a significant reversal off the highs here in a couple of hours ago. We had a strong high, 38.18s, dropped all the way back toward 36, so it's a $2 sell-off there, and that put price right at the average for the day. It's been averaging $2.35 a session over the last 10 sessions. Right now it's at $2.30, and again, with the rejection at these highs, got to continue to watch 36s, very important zone. Any failure there could begin to open up a bearish outside day scenario where the high is above the previous high and the close is below the previous low. That would be short-term bearish, but again, given the trend of the market, it could still lead to a buying opportunity. Kind of like what happened over here. Failed rejection up here, drops, and then still continued higher here in this strong move. So overall, we've had a very narrow range that has developed in the NQ here, and that narrow range has broken to the upside. We talk about getting about 8 to 9 handles of range movement on that move. So from 35s, we may be looking at a continuation much higher. But if there's a failure up here, then maybe that range comes down. So from 38s, you can project lower about 8 to 9 handles, and you're looking at a return back toward 30. So right now, looking to see which way this range resolves itself, but strong top this morning. If price can't get back above 37s, that could be a short-term indication of weakness coming into the market, at least for the next 1 to 3 days. But right now, this market has been very strong, and so until proven otherwise here, got to continue to be with the uptrend here, but keeping an eye on 37s right now. Taking a look lastly at gold futures. Again, this one has been inside the range for a while and hasn't really made a move to an edge. It is approaching 1700 yet again, and you can see right now that we actually have kind of this kind of wedge pattern here that's developed here, and price has just basically gone sideways around that middle portion. The 1700 level has been very important, and if you recall, the top of the key range over here is very important. That is 170430 right there. And whenever you build a range above there and can't see further upside price discovery, then late longs could start to get their downside stops run through 1700, and that could open up a return back toward the 200-day and the middle of the key range between 1575 and 1580. So again, 1700 is going to be very, very important here for this one as we move forward. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.